Hello, Sagittarius. This is Lemmy here, back on another reading. Excuse me. This will be your accountability message. This is for anywhere you have Sagittarius in your chart, of course. If you're unfamiliar with your chart or you would just like a reading, you can book in the description box below. And you can also follow me on social media, which is also available, as well as the cards I'll be using today. So, let's get into it. I'm going to improvise on this Sagittarius regarding accountability. And regards, what messages do we have for Sagittarius regarding accountability? What does Sagittarius need to be accountable for? What messages does Sagittarius need to be accountable for? What messages does Sagittarius need to hear about accountability? Sagittarius needs to be accountable for. Alright, so we got water. Sensing. Interesting. Your card. I see. 8th house. Endings. New beginnings. And your outcome is air. Wow, we're going from water to air. So things are kind of heavy now, but they're going to lighten up. I feel like you may be a bit emotional starting out about something because of what you don't see. You're not seeing something, you're not able to you don't see the higher purpose in something, but once you transform it's going to lift, lighten your load. So you go from the water to air. Air is still water, but it's the thinnest. Air signs come off as being very unemotional or emotionally detached compared to a water sign, because the air moves quickly, where water, although still persistent to go where it wants to go, it has its time and evolution to get through things. Hence 8th house, transformations, endings, and beginnings. So once you allow yourself to transform out of only seeing what you want to see, you'll see something else that makes your load lighter. It's like you'll start to understand something that you thought you would never understand, and it kind of takes like the weight off your back, the monkey off your back. And we got 12th house escape at the bottom. More water. Okay. I feel like you think somebody is crazy or they lost their mind or they don't know what they're talking about, but then you end up finding out that actually, yeah, it makes perfect fucking sense. You end up finding a way to bond or gel with what's going on to a point where you don't allow it to dictate you anymore. You release it. You're not allowing something to control you emotionally. You become light and be like, yeah, I understand. Air. You can think about it, talk about it, and move on from it. You're not stuck. Like the beginning part is just you being stuck and you're having a hard time getting unstuck, and then it's like you get a tower moment, kind of like breaks the wall down for you. Sensing. Ooh. So we have Judgment and 2 of Wands. So what you're sensing is like a spiritual awakening, some type of transcendence in an action or in desire. I see 7 of Wands and the Ace of Swords. Yeah, this is someone having an idea that's in complete conflict with what you believe. The 7 of Wands is about being, you're already successful, but on the other side, you're protecting or defending that success. So you're trying to see how someone has, it's like trying to understand how someone can make a living off of something. You just don't get it. But then when you actually take your time to completely break down what took place or what need is being served, it transforms how you see that person, which then also ends up transforming you and how you see yourself. So that weight that was pushing you down to make you feel like this is wrong or it's causing some type of irritation, it's lifted, it's gone. Because now you get it. So what had to end? Ooh, Ace of Cups. What needed to begin? 4 of Disc. Yeah. Your emotions were leading the way and trying to force you to be persistent in trying to judge someone. Your feelings was judging somebody, but your intellect couldn't compute it because you have to release those feelings in order for you to start to accept someone else's ability to empower themselves so you can empower yourself. This is the Sun in Capricorn. Capricorn season is about us being self-sufficient. Maybe you have to let go of a relationship or love for something in order for you to begin to I see this is too, like you're being addicted to something. You're addicted to feeling a certain type of way, but you know it's something you shouldn't do. And you see it, but you try to ignore it. But now it's something you can't ignore. Now you have to deal with it. Air element, communicate. What needs to be communicated? Ooh, 7 of Swords. Air, most definitely. And your core at the bottom, Wheel of Fortune. So what needs to be communicated is self-sabotage, lies, deceit, secrets. Yeah, I feel like you feel like someone was doing, they took an action that you judged very harshly with the Judgment card. As soon as they did something, it's like, oh no, that's not right, or that's not good, or whatever, good, or it was good, and it's, you took a side, but it came from your emotions. You emotionally chose a side, but then logic had to step in and force you to open up your mind's eye to see the bigger picture that you didn't want to see. And once you allowed that to happen, you were able to put your feelings aside and begin to see the limitation in the structure for what it was. So now you're able to release that air and communicate. Moon and Aquarius card. You're able to understand with yourself and other people how your emotional judgments have kept you separated from things that actually are here to build you up instead of break you down. So you can no longer like escape fate. Every time you try to make an emotional judgment about something, your intellect is going to let you know, your intuition rather, because both of these are air, but this is the moonlit air. This is you being called out, or someone is calling you, or you're calling someone out of emotion. You're making a judgment out of someone, but it's based on emotions. It's not based on what's real. It's not based on what's real. So your natural ability to see the bigger picture is calling for you to put your defenses down and put your emotions to the side, so you can see how much of a fortress what you're up against actually is, so you don't have to feel like you need to block yourself from anything, because the walls you put up are to keep things out. It's the same walls that you build so things can't leave either. So you walk around holding on to emotions, resentment, thoughts, feelings that you really need to release. In the way, in things that help you to release it, you're not allowing it to come in because you got these walls up. So you start to understand that that's your new beginning, is understanding the walls, the Four of Pentacles, the limitations, restrictions, the fortress. You start to understand the fortress that has been created for you, and that causes you to be able to communicate what's real, what's truth, what you know, really what you know intuitively and what you don't know intuitively, but your subconscious has been calling for you to look at something that you've been ignoring it. So Sag, your message for this accountability for this reading is really just be accountable for your judgments. We're only responsible for judging ourselves, and even that has its limitations. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, leave a comment if this helped you in any way, and how. And see you next week.
Trying to find the significance of what you mean. Breaking through glass cages inside of me. Surfing and swimming in a never-ending sea. Finding missing puzzles to keep. Crack the cracking for everyone to sleep.